What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jordan and today we're getting the 280Z tuned so that it'll pass a smog test. If you want to see how we tune it and if we pass, stick around. At the end of the last video, I put E85 in my tank and I was hoping that the E85 was going to lean out my fuel mixture enough for me to pass smog. Turns out it didn't, and I was a little bit confused as to why I didn't pass. So I hit up my buddy Joel, and he's got a shop here in town restoring Datsuns, and he told me that it's probably the airflow meter that needs to be adjusted because we just put new injectors in the car and it's probably getting a lot more gas than it needs. So we're gonna go to his shop and he's going to adjust the AFM because he has an AFR gauge and I don't have one. So we're gonna drive over there, see his shop, which is really, really cool. I always love going there. And he's gonna tune it for us so that we can be all good for smog. Out of the whole mess of stuff in the engine bay right here, the AFM is this little box right here, and basically this little box has a series of springs inside here that opens a lever and tells the engine how much gas it needs at what RPM it's at. And basically you can adjust those little springs and adjust how much gas gets put into the cylinders. And the way that you read the gas it's putting out through the exhaust is through a bung in the exhaust right here. You attach an AFR gauge in there and it reads how rich the gas is. The more rich it is means the more fuel inside the system. And so basically we're gonna go to Joel's shop and he's gonna adjust this little thing and mess with the springs and get us at the proper reading of 14.7 on the AFR gauge. So once we do that, we'll have more power presumably and also a lot less emissions. Time to head out. I'm running a bit late as always, so let's do it. Alright guys, so we're outside of Joel's shop. It's a Harmon Resto here in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And they're in there putting an O2 bung in my exhaust so that way they can do proper reading of the exhaust and the gas that's in it. So yeah, they're getting set up to do the tuning, and yeah, I'll show you the little springs in there inside the AFM. That way you can kind of get an idea of what you need to do. Not exactly what you need to do, but what you need to play with in order to tune your car. So I'm excited and hopefully this helps us pass smog. Alright guys, so I just got back from Joel's shop, Harmon Resto, and a big shout out to the guys over there. They did a great job and it was awesome kicking it with them. I hope you guys enjoyed the shots of their shop and all the cars and everything they have in there. But I just want to give you a quick overview of what we found out with the car. And long story short is both the throttle position sensor as well as the AFM were off a little bit. And that caused the car to be rich basically at idle and throughout the rev range. And also found out that when I installed the electronic Bluetooth distributor, I mechanically installed it with 22 additional degrees of timing. So even from 0 RPM, the car already had more timing than it should, and even throughout the entire rev range, the timing was way high. So yeah, the car was acting a little bit funny because of those reasons, but once it was corrected, the car runs way, way smoother now, and it also smells a lot less like gas, which is super nice. And I'm hoping that these adjustments get us closer to passing smog. I'm not sure that we're really gonna pass, so we might have to do some more work in the future. But luckily, I've got 180 days to figure this out because I got a moving permit for the car. And usually you only have 30 days for the moving permit, but with everything going on with the virus and stuff, they have 180 days window period for you to do that. So anyway, first, I'm just going to get this smogged, and just for scientific reasons, I'm not going to do anything else. That way we can see if the tune fixed it or if there's more that needs to be done. So I'll be right back with some results, and I'm going to get it smogged. I'll be back. All right, guys, so I'm back with our test results of the smog, but real quick, I'm gonna do a summary of all the smogs that we've done. So I've done 3 smogs, and just to keep it simple, we need to have a 2.5% emissions to pass the test. And so the very first test, I had no modifications of the car, and we just had regular gas, and we did really terrible. So at idle speed, we had a 5.24% of emissions, and then at high speed, we had 6.17% of emissions. So we're over double the allowed emissions the first test. So after that, I just put 1 gallon of E85 and 4 gallons of regular gas. So a really chill mixture of E85, and we got a huge improvement. That improvement was 4.5% at idle and 4.4 at high speed. So just by adding a little bit of E85, that really gave us a big improvement, but I still failed. Because we failed, we went to Joel's and got the car tuned as best as we could with the stock, stuff in there, and a huge improvement, gigantic improvement. So the idle emissions was at 2.8% out of 2.5, and our high speed was at 4.4% at 2.5. But that's just with regular gas, so that's no E85 at all. So I think what I'm going to do for the next video is I'm going to do a much more aggressive E85 to gasoline mixture and see if now that we have this tune plus the E85 being much more aggressive, maybe we can get a better result. Because I really just need to get this thing smogged. I'm going to make my own exhaust anyway, and so I don't want to have to do that right now. We'll do it a little bit later. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and my results so far. Hopefully we can get this thing smogged. Go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.